Hello, welcome. I'm glad that you're here with us as we continue our chronological read through of the Bible. When we last left King David in our narrative readings, he had purchased land from Onan so that he could make an offering to the Lord at the place where God had stopped his angel from bringing destruction to Jerusalem proper. As we resume reading the narrative today, we learn that David designated that land as the place where the temple was to be built, and the burnt offerings for Israel would, of course, then be made there. The worship of God was always close to King David's heart, and he spent his final years preparing for the building of the temple, even though he knew he would never see it. He gathered great amounts of lumber and iron, bronze and gold for use in building the temple. He had stones cut for it and staged for use. He spoke with Solomon and charged him with building the temple as God had told David that Solomon would. David continued to organize those things that would be needed, not only for the temple, but also to sustain its operation. When he became older and advanced in years, he made Solomon his co-regent, and he set about organizing the Levites for their service. He gathered all of the Levites 30 years of age and older that were not descended from Aaron, and assigned to them the majority of the tasks. Well, assigned to the majority of them the tasks of taking care of the temple. Then a much smaller group, about a quarter the size, he set aside to serve as officers and judges. And an even little smaller group than that, he set aside to serve as gatekeepers. And another group about the same size as the gatekeepers to serve as musicians to lead Israel in their praise. The men would be registered for service when they were 20, and then they would take their turns in service starting when they were 30 years old. After David had organized the Levites, then he organized the priests, those who were descended from Aaron. He organized them into 24 groups that would serve in approximately 2-week shifts throughout the year. This way, there was always somebody on duty in the temple. We see evidence actually of this in the New Testament when, for example, Zechariah is serving as the angel appears to him and announces John the Baptist's birth. Similarly, then, David organizes the musicians that he had set apart into 24 choruses or ensembles made up of 12 people each, so that there would always be music for the worship of God. Um, Things are kind of winding down for King David, and you see that even in our narrative. Through him, God has consolidated the kingdom of Israel and he's prospered her, something that's going to happen only more greatly through the years of peace with Solomon. May God be with you, bless you. As always, I pray that your reading is continuing to strengthen you, that you're learning, that you're growing. I look forward to joining with you again tomorrow.